Hey, what's up? I'm a HypeC. I play games, make games, and everything in between. Today, we are going to be going over the latest release notes for HypeHype version 1.3.7. A lot of cool features, including a brand new UI experience, dark mode. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, as I'll be putting up more content around making and playing games with HypeHype. If you're new to HypeHype, check out some of the other videos I've made talking about who HypeHype is and me making some games. When it comes to resources, be sure to check out HypeHype wiki page at wiki.hypehype.com and the Discord channels. This is a great place to ask questions, talk to other creators who have made multiple games within HypeHype. Selecting this menu and select help and you'll have a wiki. Let's go to build and release notes. We can see new fresh HypeHype visual theme with lime green, black, and rounded corners, dark theme as default, but you can change the theme to your liking from settings. A lot of this is new. We have this image over here, which I'm going to start with because it's the most important, as it has the copy feature. I believe this is the best feature in HypeHype. It allows you to go into any game, find something you like, copy either that item or game mechanic, and paste it into your game. It's a little bit hidden, but you just swipe it over. I wish it was exposed. Now you have to hit two buttons or swipe and then select copy to copy an item like that. And we can just go to exit and put it into another game. And then again swipe and then hit paste, and you can see we have these palm trees. Hopefully with more time they'll be able to finesse the user experience. Here we can see this is a new menu setup on the left. We got the editor, hype, and camera. Again, I think the UX could be a little bit better, because if you go into settings and then you wanted to go back into colors, you have to tap here, tap there, so that's like 3 taps to just get to where you were before. Overall, it's really cool to have everything in one location so that you can edit the environment, physics, or a number of different things for the game that you're working on. And if you want to change the theme, you just go to profile, hit the 3 dots up here, and you can go to your settings and you can change the theme from light or dark, or that is too bright. You can see right now we're on version 1.3.9. There have been small minor updates, but 1.3.7 is the big one. That's what we will be going over today. New update: compete with your friends on the newly added friend leaderboard. This is amazing. I love making games, but I also love playing games. Being up there on the leaderboard is a big deal to me. My high score is 48 seconds. I think that's pretty good. We can see HypeHype is at the top of the list. HypeHype is at the top of a lot of these lists because he's got moves and is an amazing gamer. You can see Sticky, the creator, is ranked number 2. And if we scroll on down, I am way down here. I'm ranked 39 on the global. Select the friends. I am number 1, which is pretty cool. Friends are people that you follow and they follow you back. The more you make games, the more people will follow you. I only have a couple games because I am new to HypeHype. Next, we had added player progression, continue Hype playlist where you left off. In HypeHype, you can make multiple levels, playlists, and here's a great game called The Only Room by Spalarium. See, this is level 1. Very simple game. Hit the key, go through the door, continue it to level 2. Oh, and getting the key actually locks the door, so we're gonna hit restart and then just go. Just like that. We can look at this playlist. There are 20 different rooms. They get harder. You can see I have completed room 17, but there are no check marks for the ones that I have not completed. Added settings for controlling push notifications per likes, comments, followers, leaderboard, remix, and new hypes. On the bottom, I have 21 messages on my inbox. These are all the people who have gotten scores or remixed my hype. Next, we have added friend icon on profile picture to find your friends easier. You are friends by following each other. Let's see about that. You can go to see who you're following, and if they have a little icon, the 2 little people, those are your friends. H_Pug has some amazing games for sure, so be sure to check him out. A lot of great creators on HypeHype. One little trick that I did when I first started HypeHype was following the creators that I thought were amazing and then see who they followed. From there, I was able to find amazing creators on HypeHype and play their games while learning the ecosystem. Next, added number of unread inbox messages to the menu bar at the bottom. We saw that previously right here, inbox. User settings are now saved to the server and available on each of your HypeHype devices. Right now, I am on an iPad. I do a lot of my development on the iPad, and then I actually play the games on my iPhone, as it's more fun to play the games on the iPhone. Having the settings sync up is a great feature. The other day, I was working on my iPad, and then I went out with some friends. I had about 5 minutes of free time, so I was actually able to take out my phone and do some editing and make small minor updates to my Cyberpunk game while everyone else was waiting in line for some food. Next, add personal interest after signing up using Facebook, Google, Apple login, or if they're missing edit profile, edit interests, and here you can select the things that you like. Fixed crash when editing playlist, and then completing first hype on the playlist. Creating playlists is pretty simple. All you need to do is make sure you have a hype in unlisted. Go here to create and select create playlist. You can name it Cyberpunk, for example. Go to add hypes. Here we can add the 2 hypes that I have, and I would just need to save it, but I already have a playlist. Fixed inbox message bug when someone liked your playlist, shows now correct message and opens the playlist properly. Here is the big stuff: editor, UI reconstruction and improvements with the new Hamburger Menu for a cleaner interface. And this is the Hamburger Menu. Here we have everything: settings, visual, and then we can get to the help menu as well. Added new customizable drawer menu for quick user preferred shortcuts. So that is this over here. Again, I do wish that the copy button was more easily accessible. It's, in my opinion, the best button there is. Having to swipe or move to get to it every time you need to get to it seems a little redundant. To edit the quick menu, hit edit, and you can move it from the left to the right by hitting the arrow buttons. And later you can add commonly used nodes and components to make this quick menu customizable for yourself. Next, we have a new world browser that helps out searching and editing for objects or nodes in the current world. This is really cool. Let's go to a hype. It has a lot of stuff going on. Here we have No Stereo Madness by Samander. Amazing game. I'm currently ranked number 10 on this. Let's hit remix. Logic on. We can see this game has a lot of nodes and components. The search feature is up here to the top right. If we wanted to look at broadcast listeners, you can get a list of these broadcast listeners, and it will take us to each of them just by a tap of a button. We can search all the separate nodes that are in this hype. This is an advanced feature to help those who have a lot of nodes in their games and need to find them. I'm still new to HypeHype, so that will be helpful for me down the line. A new instance browser with a drag and drop menu to access your pre-made instance. Instances are good for creating objects that are repeatable throughout a hype and have a shared properties. For example, collectibles like coins. Instant containers can also be applied to objects that give object the game logic in the container. Let's check out Ballings Level 3 by Jocko, and we can see that there is an instance icon here. There are multiple instance objects, or if you wanted to go straight to the instance and edit them. And I just realized I also have a game with a lot of instance objects. We can see all these instances that I have, which are basic spawner objects. Oh, look at that, very cool. So you can jump around. I have a video of me going through all the details of this game, so check that out in the link below. Next, we have new environment background style procedural, create real world skies. Doesn't work on Android devices yet. So this is an environment background style. So if we go here, environment background, sky and fog. Cool. If you want to change this to more of an orange sky, we can go in here, edit the colors, make it a little bit darker, darker red. Alright, the fog a little oranger, with the ground color. Right now I'm on landscape and there are bugs. I'm trying to change the ground color, but it's not letting me. There we go. Here we go. We got gradient. Let's see if we can see that on the landscape. Hit gradient. Right now we got solid, gradient, procedural. Gradient is really cool. Procedural. Oh wow, look at that. Let's zoom out for a second. Okay. That has a lot of potential. That's solid, and that's gradient, and then that's procedural. New node world info, get current time in local time. Oh, that's cool. I gotta see that. These are all the nodes, and now they're color coded. It was world time, I believe. So let's see if we have world info, and now we can have this node right there, and it's got all the cool information. Year, month, day, hour. Nice, very cool. Okay, we got another new node, object math operator, outputs information like distance or direction between two input nodes. Object math operator, we can see got its object set 1, object set 2, distance between the objects, right distance to object 2, up distance to object 2, front distance. Basically doing the math between two objects, which actually reminds me, this is something I need in one of my Cyberpunk games. I set it up a different way using different logic nodes, and I think I accidentally broke it, so I'll definitely have to take a look at this later. Pure instance can now have multiple objects in them. I think this is a good example. I made this asteroid game, super fun. I have a whole video on all the little pieces that make up this game. If you're curious, you should have checked that one out. I have a lot of instances, and these instances are just basically different objects that spawn way out here in space, and then the player has to dodge those objects. Here I can select the instance down here. My naming convention could be better. For the most part, we have Spaceman 2. We can follow it to here, we can follow the line to this dude, but right now this is all in this instance, which is this little present package. But with this new update, you can put multiple objects in a single instance. This object has all the properties, and it puts those properties into the spawn object as a spaceman. Essentially, we can have one instance and have multiple objects in there, which will just help things be more organized in the future. As you can see, that this is a lot of stuff going on. Next, we got named variable nodes can now be assigned to various nodes properties without needing to execute the variable node, which simplifies logic in many use cases. This sounds like it just helps make things more organized in your node setup and creation process. Next, we have when adding logic nodes, you can now search them by name. Let's go here, we've got logic. We got the search feature. This looks like it's a helpful feature. If you're looking for a sound node, you can just go up here, type in sound, and then select the sound node instead of selecting logic and scrolling down. Definitely helpful, because for whatever reason, sometimes I can't find the node that I'm looking for, even though it's right in front of me. I do believe it will be a little bit easier now, seeing as everything is color coded. Posting a hype now requires one of 3 categories to be set by the creator. You can now physically edit materials while choosing a physical material for an object. For this example, we can look at this game, and we have edit categories. Before, you didn't have to have this filled out, but now you do. You can now edit physical materials while choosing a physical material for an object. Here is a game I'm slowly working on. Take a look at that banana. This banana, the physical material is heavy, and these are different types of materials. If you want the material to be more like rubber, which actually might be a good idea. Let's try that out, see how that looks. Because okay, so it gets a little weird. The settings on the character was created with the physical material being heavy. Here, if we wanted to change the banana, we can hit this, hit material 10, go to physics, go to this material, and we can change the density, linear damping, angular damping, restitution, friction. And there's additional stuff over here like gravity multiplier, linear sleep threshold, angular sleep threshold, advanced, rolling friction, spinning friction, and tropic friction. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know these settings were here, so this is pretty cool that you can actually adjust the physical material of the object. We hit play, he'll probably just look all weird. Not sure if it'll do anything. Let's get him hit. So here we can see super heavy. Next, we got updates to selection, pop-up for visual material, physical material, UI colors, particle effects. In the last version, all these came from the bottom up, and now they come from the left. I think there is some finesse that needs to happen with this UX experience, because you always have to tap out to go back, and then to pull the menu up again, you have to tap the icon. There's just a lot of extra tapping here, which I think is unnecessary, because this menu is used a lot when you're editing. Main feature is now come from the left as opposed to coming from the bottom. Updates to the UX will come over time as HypeHype is in early access. Lastly, fixed music preview bugs. Super stoked about that. There used to just be lots of music bugs, or there was a single bug that just caused the music to loop, and that got annoying real quick. The web related, there's an added Facebook login support. Now let's get to the cool stuff. New assets. Toon Dog with full animations. Let's check that out right now. If you want to see the latest assets, it's at the top. Click the 3 dots. As the Toon Dog has animations, let's type in animation. You can see we got 6 new animation types. This is my favorite visual menu. It has a picture of what you're looking at along with the description. I wish this was the default. However, this only comes up when you search for specific things. We got the canine animation trot, the sniff, the shake, the lie down, interact, and excited. These all look great. We can see this within the rigged animation. Here are the standard animations, and then we can see canine animations. Be careful when selecting these. If you have an object which does not have 4 legs, it may have weird animation effects. Let's see if we can get an example where we get a guy with 2 legs. He's got a cool animation. This is called a chest blast. That's interesting. So let's see what happens if we add a canine excited. Okay, so this is the canine excited. You can see that it just looks weird on this dude. Oh, and then we got 5 more toon characters. Let's take a look at those. We got this new gorilla. This is amazing. I already put him in my safari animal levels where I created a nature scene, which is based off of something I saw when I was hanging out at the Natural History Museum in New York City and just playing around with HypeHype. Check out my video on that as well if you just want to create something in HypeHype, but not necessarily a game, maybe a cool landscape, add a little story. As with HypeHype, you can create pretty much anything. It doesn't have to be a game. I believe this Clover person is new. Super adorable. Flash, Taily the giraffe, a new deer. You can make objects, characters in Blender and submit them to HypeHype so that they can be accessed for anybody to use when creating a game. There is a process for that. I believe Wilson is also new. Let's go ahead and add some animation to these guys just so they're not basic. For visual objects, we have 3x animated hands, numbers, electrical components, modern fighter plane, miscellaneous basic primitive, food items and containers, toy guns, and fantasy weapons, rock formations. These are electrical components. This would be cool if to make something like Among Us with spaceships. You can have all these components in the spaceship. And then here are these 3 animated hands. Let's go ahead and grab this one, and this one. We got building blocks. We got cool columns, windows, stairs, doors, buildings. Here's the food containers. There's a milk carton made by Sticky. Ooh, we got eggs, so if you're gonna make a kitchen, you definitely want a bag of potato chips and a kiwi up in that. Got a popcorn case, but no popcorn. I bet you that popcorn is coming soon. We got more rock formations. Rock formations are really cool. We got space toy guns, medieval weapons. Look at that skull, that looks amazing. I'm just gonna put that in there too. So let's shrink it down, try to put it in. It's kind of like holding it. More swords, weapons, axes, ninja stars. We got rounded numbers and we got almost block type numbers. Oh, and then we got this. This is a big jet. This is cool. Look, you can see the shadow. Let's make that jet purple, the green. That looks cool. Look at that jet. One thing I want to do, check out the hands, is it says 3x animated hands. So what that means is that these hands actually have animation. So we go to rigged animation. This is hand open. Let's go all the way to the down and we can see we got a hand wave, hand thumbs down. This hand has 3 fingers. This one's got 4. And we can change these to whatever we want depending on our goals. There's a camera over here. You can see the hand waving. Let's go ahead and add a gorilla animation hit since the gorilla comes with its own animations. Nice. Let's slow that down. A lot of new great objects added in this big release. Lastly, we got some more sounds, so let's go to sounds. We have 14 new sound effects, so that's under sound, 19 new music tracks, that's under music, and 13 ambient musics. We got some sound. Music is background music that can be looped over and over again, whereas in sound is sound effects. Finding the right music and sound definitely takes time. I do believe there is a way to submit music to HypeHype, but that music has to be copyright free. Next, we got 55 new or updated particle effects. Go to visual. Let's go ahead and type in particles. Oh, maybe particle. Smooth, bokeh, juicy trail, cube trail by Sticky. Oh, this is great. It's got the name of the creator. Sci-fi projectile by Carvin, Firefly by HypePug, Sci-fi explosion, black hole, laser explosion, laser fusion, muzzle cone, muzzle circular, warfare explosion big, speed boost V, snow. I believe a lot of these were taken from hypes that were made. If you do find a particle that you like in a hype, Space Raid by Carbon is a great example, as this hype is full of amazing particle effects. It's a super complicated game where you have to dodge and shoot the bad guys. Go here, select the menu, go to effects, and you can see that Carbon has made all these particles for this beautiful game. And if you find something that you like, you can grab that object, just go into logic, for particle, find the effect that you like the most, So this one, swipe out, press copy, exit the hype, go into what you were working on, hit edit, swipe out again and hit paste. These are all the release notes for the latest 1.3.7, which is a big update. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. When playing with HypeHype, be sure to check out the wiki.hypehype and Discord, as those have a wealth of knowledge and people wanting to help you make games. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Hype C. Stay safe out there, and peace.